up, everybody? It's Biker Babe Beth here, and I am doing a garage build video series with you guys, and I'm super excited to come at you with it on something a little different. I have Jeffrey's Honda Shadow. This is a VTX 750. It's a very nice bike, and I am lucky enough that I found someone who makes beautiful custom fabricated parts for Shadows and other Hondas, like VLXs, I think the 1100 and the 1300. Quite a few different bike parts are fabricated by this person. And I'm so excited to announce that I'm going to be doing a build series on this Honda Shadow with TJ Brutal Customs. And if you guys aren't familiar with TJ Brutal, please go check out his site. Google will show you all of his amazing builds. So this guy, TJ Brutal, he provides custom fabricated parts for quite a few different Hondas, and he was willing to let me throw some of these beautiful parts on Jeffrey's Honda. So I'm lucky enough that I have a mechanically inclined fiance to help along this build, because I'm not doing this alone, that's for sure. If you are interested in any of the parts that TJ Brutal has, please check him out on shoptjbc.com. Once again, that's shoptjbc.com. And he has tons of custom fabricated parts. I will get into the parts that we recently installed on this bike. We had a fun garage day build together, and I'm gonna do something a little different in this video with you guys. I'm gonna take you along the build, give you a little bit of details on the first few items of this first installment of the build series that we're gonna be doing. We were lucky enough that TJ Brutal was so gracious and was willing to do a build series with this Honda Shadow. So what we plan to do is 3 to 4, maybe more, depending on how it goes, videos of us building out this Shadow into something very different. So this is the first installment of the build series of the Honda Shadow, and I'm super excited to be working with TJ Brutal on this one. So if you guys are interested in his parts, he does have tutorial videos on YouTube that makes it a breeze to install any of the parts that you buy online from him. So if you have a Honda Shadow and you're looking to make it sound a hell of a lot louder, that's what we did in this first build series with the amazing short shots. I don't know if you guys can see them. This video is just a little bit different because I am going to high speed all of the boring garage work and talk with you guys as I show you what we were doing, because the hard work isn't the fun stuff. So I'll shoot that in high speed, and then we'll talk about it as we go along. And I will show you guys the very first installment of the build series that we're doing on this lovely Shadow. And be sure to wait till the very end to watch the test ride after we install these amazing parts of the first installment. We were lucky enough that the first installment were pipes, velocity stacks. We have some fuel adjustment knobs. We also new carb knobs. Like I said, Jeffrey and I did all the hard work on this install to make sure that everything went smoothly, and we were so lucky that we had TJ Brutal's videos to refer back to as we were going along in this build, because we definitely did that a few times. All right, guys, we have the Backdraft Exhaust, some of the fuel mixture screws, jetting, lots of awesome stickies. That's the greatest part. Actually, the greatest part are the main reason we have to rejet, and it's these babies. Woo! If you're not familiar, these are the velocity stacks that he sells. These velocity stacks here replace the air filter. Straight in, baby. So we're super stoked about those. So we will be free flowing from intake to exhaust. It's going to be loud and proud, and we're super stoked about that. So first things first, in order to get this build started, we had to remove the seat and also remove the tank, because the carburetor is located perfectly under the tank. To remove the tank, we got to remove the seat. To remove the carb, we got to remove the tank, you know, so on and so forth. So once we get that tank off, we can get down into the carburetor where all of the fun and real work begins. So once we were able to maneuver the dual carb out of the bike itself, that's when we actually start to do the rebuilding process on this carburetor. Cleaning, new jets, new knobs for the fuel mixture, new choke knobs, all the good stuff will be done once we get that baby out, which it's a little difficult. It's a tight squeeze, okay? Almost there. A couple more tubes, I believe. Okay guys, we got the carb off, but unfortunately in the process we broke off this carb heater, this carb heater sensor. We're hoping we can do without it. Right now we're just going to be cutting off some hosing that we don't need and tubing for coolant sensors that we don't really need. We're going to get rid of those and start getting into installing the velocity stacks and other aspects. Let's do it. We also are going to clean and rebuild the jets in the process before we put those velocity stacks on, more importantly. So we just got the fuel air mixture screw out so we can adjust on the fly. Go ahead and put that baby in. It's a little bit of a pain in the butt. So we had to use the drill and drill out. There was a aluminum gasket in there. So now that we have it out, set her in. Screw her in nice and easy. And you don't want to go too tight. So we'll screw just until snug. Time to reject this bitch. So we are finishing up putting the carb back together. Got the old Cobra pipes off. Once we get this carb put back together and reinstalled, we'll be throwing on those Shorties. Let's go. I'm excited. But first and foremost, carb needs to be put back together. So we're working on the floats. Bigger jets. More fuel, please. Bigger jets. We removed the carb to install all of those items, which is the biggest part of this first installment besides the pipes. The velocity stacks, those fuel screw mixture knobs, the choke knobs, and some new jets. But most importantly, after we get it squeaky clean, which takes a lot of carb cleaner. I think I had to leave to go get more carb cleaner. As you can see, while we were cleaning the carburetor and taking care of rejetting, I was taking the job extremely seriously, okay? It's a baby wrench. Look how cute, little baby. Here you go, little baby. Do some carbureted work, little baby. It's so tiny. I'm like super excited about the fact that this 7mm is so cute. While
I'm sitting here doing all the work.
While Jeffrey works real hard, taking that float off. It's teamwork, okay? While I make over the cute little baby wrench. It's so cute. We're getting somewhere. There's some jets. I declare I do. I see some jets.
It's a little funky in there.
Smells a little weird. What's it smell like?
Gas.
Fuel. Very serious job. No playing around here in the Biker Bay Beth garage. No, sir. None of that. So, while Jeffrey finished the hard work, I started to move on to the installment of these beautiful short shots that we love the sound of on this bike. They're super quick and easy install. Doesn't take very much. There is a crush washer, and make sure you get someone big and strong like your fiance or a significant other, or if you're strong, you do it. I was probably strong enough, but I was just nervous about crushing those washers in place. But that's all it takes is a crush washer. Throw these on, make sure they're even in the right placement, crush them down, tighten them down really good. I made sure to have my lovely partner in crime make sure that they were tightened down all the way because we don't want his pipes to rattle off. So maybe a little Loctite on there could do the trick as well. As I said, the pipes were super easy to do. So while I installed those, Jeffrey finished up the last little bit on the carburetor, making sure that we plugged the right spots and had the right tubing and the right lengths of tubing left over on the right areas of the carbs. A lot of different things that have to be done. I know I showed you guys I had to screw and tap out a section of the carburetor, and that's only due to the fact that there is a small metal piece that needed to be pulled out. But you can normally pick it out, but sometimes you just gotta drill things out. And that's what we ended up doing. I was lucky enough that as he finished up, I got the pipes on, and then we together as a team could try and finish up the install. And that meant getting the carb back in. Not an easy thing, not a fun time. I think it's a lot simpler if you have done it a few times. This was our first time pulling out and reinstalling the carb, and it took some major mandangling, you know, just very carefully, especially once we got those velocity stacks on. We wanted to be careful we didn't really mess them up. I know you can't see them under the tank very well, but once we get a different tank on here, hint, hint, you'll be able to see the velocity stacks a lot better, which I'm super stoked about. One really important thing I wanted to make mention of in this video is that whenever you upgrade any part of the exhaust or air intake, the way that the carburetor takes in air on a carbureted bike specifically, you're gonna wanna make sure that you rejet. Make sure that those jets are meeting the demand that you're putting on it. So we put bigger jets on this due to the velocity stacks being a more open system rather than what it was used to, where we had, one moment, this whole entire thing on the side of this bike here. So taking off a lot of weight, being a direct air intake system rather than through all of this lovely system that it used to be. Reinstalling the carburetor with the velocity stacks and making sure everything was plugged properly, that part honestly was the most difficult part of this first part of the build series, only due to the fact that it's a very small workspace and you have to make sure that you get it seated right. Carburetor is seated down hard and in proper position, or you're gonna end up with some vacuum leaks, some air leak issues that you don't want to be dealing with. And I'm really glad that we got it seated properly, tightened up, and it is running like a dream. And it is purring like you guys. I cannot wait to take you on this test ride because this bike, woo, she sound pretty. I don't want to hype it up too much because you'll hear it in a second, but honestly, I am super impressed and I'm super stoked for this TJ Brutal build that we are lucky enough to be doing. He's an amazing fabricator. Please check out his parts. Once again, that's shoptjbc.com. You won't regret buying any of his items because they are quality made and hand fabricated by someone who cares about motorcycles. He has a drive and a passion for motorcycles that got me excited, and it gave me some real drive to change this Honda Shadow into something that you guys would never expect to see Biker Babe Beth on. Actually, maybe you would expect to see me on it, but I'm super stoked to have an actual bike build go somewhere because Jeffrey is behind me. This is his daily, so he's gonna be kicking my butt to get in gear and make sure that this build process keeps up, unlike my Harley Davidson Ironhead, but that's another story for another time. Poor baby. I put her in the corner. Just forgot about her. We'll get her out there one day, but most importantly, let's get out on the Shadow. Let's go, baby.
Oh my God, this bike sounds so good now. Woo! She purrs. So I thought I would take you guys out on a quick cruise on the Shadow to show you guys the updates on her. So now we got some free flowing air. Woo! Ooh, Bethy likey, long time. Oh yes, that feels nice, ladies and gentlemen. I like it. This is just one of the first few upgrades that we've done. And we plan to do more. Ow! Yeah! This bike is gonna be awesome. This is just the very beginning of some really dope stuff to come for this build. I just wanted to take you guys out on a quick cruise because as you can see, it's stormy. It is not looking all that clear today, and it hasn't been very clear the past few days, honestly, so. This was a freaking fun bike, but now it is even more enjoyable. That rumble, this baby purr's a little too loud for the law. All right, guys, once again, if you are interested in any shadow parts for your custom fab needs, check out shop.tjbc.com. TJ Brutal is awesome. We're excited to customize this bike in many ways. This is only the beginning. I don't want to tell you guys all the secrets that are coming with this build because this build's going to be a few videos long. We're going to try and hammer these ones out though. Jeffrey doesn't like waiting for his bike to be built. So, you know, unlike the Iron, he's not going to wait for the Shadow to be turned into a sick-ass chopper. This brings out the evil laughs in Bethy. Those are the good laughs, is the evil laughs. Yes, thank you so much, TJ. Please give a huge shout out to TJ Brutal for helping us sponsor this amazing dope build on the Shadow. More TJ Brutal builds coming at you. I can't believe how good this bike sounds now. I better get home though. It's looking dark and stormy. I don't want to get caught in any of those storms. I'm going home now. All right, guys, once again, if you're new here, what the heck are you doing? Subscribe to my channel, unless you're a dummy. I mean, that's fine. See my new shield? Ooh, she's looking good. Scorpion, thank you for my new gold shield. But like I was saying, if you're new here, please subscribe, check out my channel. Would you also give it a like? And comment down below. What shenanigans of the TJ Brutal build did you enjoy the most? I think I enjoyed trying to keep Jeffrey calm when he reinstalled the carb. Storms are rolling in, storms are a-brewing, and things are a-brewing for this bike build, and I'm stoked to take you guys along. This Shadow is such a nice ride too. If you guys are on the fence about buying a Honda or Harley or Honda, I don't know, this Honda's pretty freaking sweet. So alright guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me on this bike build. More garage builds coming at you because it's been rainy this summer. Could barely get the bike out to test ride it because it's been so rainy. See you in the garage soon. So stoked. Take you guys along. These pipes look so dope. Ooh, baby. Feel like 10 times cooler with these short shots. Look how nice they look. Woo. Don't burn your leg now. Whew. All right, folks. Boogie on home before the storms come in. And I will catch you on the next video. Peace out.